Hello. So, for one, it feels good to be back. Two, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving and ate as much as I did. So, of course, I took that time to go back to Florida, be with my family. Now I'm back in LA. And I'm ready to go back home. I was literally dreading it. But I want to tell you guys about my experience because prior to me leaving, I knew something was about to happen. I knew energetically something was about to happen. I didn't know what exactly, but I knew me going back home, there was something I needed to experience. And so I couldn't help but feel like, I think after Thanksgiving, no matter who it is collectively, I felt like after Thanksgiving, there's something for the collective that's about to shift almost instantly. And so the words that kept popping up was, it's game time. So like as soon as Thanksgiving ends, it's like, I'm seeing where a lot of you guys could be setting in motion. I don't want to say like your New Year's resolution, but that's what it's kind of giving. Like starting or after what's it called? After your, what can I think? Like, why am I having a brain fart? After your holiday, you're going to start like either cleaning up your eating, cleaning up your habits, start going to the gym, or just doing things that are just a little bit more healthier, because I keep getting like health issues arising. And so it doesn't have to resonate with everybody, but I am picking up that with these health issues, it's like now it's time to start taking it seriously more than you have been before. So let's go ahead and dive in, because I actually had to write it down. I literally wrote this down yesterday before I got on the plane, and I knew I wasn't gonna be able to have time to do a reading yesterday, just because as soon as I got back late last night, showered, went to bed, woke up, came to work, and then now it's game time. So the first thing was the messages, and these were just a few of them actually. Like I'm getting like 12 or 13 messages, to be honest. So one of them was, don't let them get into your head. And then on top of that, don't compare yourself to others, or let alone their successes or views of you. In other words, ignore them the best that you can. And the reason being is because I couldn't help but feel like either some people are trying to place you in a certain category, like according to like what they believe or what they think inside their heads about you. And whether if you find out about this information or not, or if they just tell you anyway, because that's what I'm picking up. Like there could be certain individuals, like as you return back to work, or as you return, back home, or with your friends, or whatever the case, but there's like something here energetically. It's not all of you, but there's something here energetically that it's kind of meant to happen, because I'm seeing where even in a workplace, whatever, like there could be either issues or drama, even if it's not pertaining to you, but somehow, some way, like whoever this energy is, it's like they're going to try to incorporate you into that business, into that drama, into that mess, when it has nothing to do with you to begin with. So this is the part where you have to maintain like your peace, like your centeredness. Is that even a word? I don't know. But basically, just remain as yourself, just remain grounded. And that's why they say, ignore them the best way that you can. And the more that you do so, because right now, actually I'll probably do a separate video on this, but right now you guys are elevating, and I will do a separate video about that. But let's just stay on topic as far as confirmations, as far as messages go, and what to expect even throughout the month of December. So number 2, you guys not only are on a mission, but I'm hearing that spirit, God, source, angels, your high self, like your true self, as that's starting to emerge more, or as you're starting to integrate, am I even saying it right? I can't even think. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. But as you start to integrate into that version of you, it's going to demand your undivided attention. That's what I'm getting. It's going to demand that you focus more on the mission itself, your purpose, your passion, then the aesthetic, right? Then the money, then the income, then what it's going to bring you. And don't even get into your heads and start thinking, oh, because naturally you are being you, the collective that I'm speaking to, you're naturally going to attract both the positive and the negative. So they're wanting you to use your discernment when it comes to these particular individuals or these energies. And yeah, overall, you're going to get a mixture of it. Like, it's kind of like a moth to a flame. Like, they're all gravitating towards you. I'm also getting, something's coming up right now. I'm also getting, there's going to be certain individuals around you, whether if you had cut them off or blocked them out, one, they're not entirely happy about that. And two, like, I'm getting mind games. I'm getting manipulation. And the energy, you can confirm it or not, but the energy that I'm getting from these individuals, it's so manipulative, but so toxic and dark. Like, it's, I really don't want to tap into it because that's not the energy we need to focus on today. But these individuals, it's like they're hungry. That's what I'm hearing. They're hungry for your energy. They're hungry for your success. They're hungry for, like, what is that called? Sorry, I'm channeling. Every time, just don't mind me, I'm channeling. Every time I pause, it's because there's something that they're showing me or telling me. I just heard like either a divine swap or a destiny swap. I'm not too familiar with that. Maybe you guys might be. No, I don't need education because intuitively they've already been giving me the definition of it just now. But that's what I'm hearing, destiny swap or divine swap. So basically, as you guys are elevating, there are certain individuals that had either wanted to tap into your energy, wanted to either be like you or have like your divine rights or your divine gifts. Like, there's something about you energetically that, like, it's kind of giving like vampire. Like, they're just wanting to like suck that life out of you just so that way you can go back to being that old version. So that way you can go back to being who they wanted you to be, who they thought that you would continue to be because it made them feel good or uplifted them in a way. Yeah, it's disgusting. So moving on, but that's the energy that came up. Like, whoever these people are, whether if these were friends, family members, I'm also getting, that could either be jealous or envious of you guys and your success, whether if you know this or not, but I'm also hearing to stay away from them. That's the message that came through, to stay away from them, because you're already doing better as it is. And the more that you continue to tap into their energy or to be around these particular individuals or to not hold up a certain boundary, let alone remain grounded in your truest self, who you really are, the more that you continue to be around them or that energy, then it's almost as if you're going to end up kind of going back to square one. You're basically going to undo all the energy, all the healing work that you have done. And so right now, for the most part, you guys are actually doing good, like not losing your control, right? Like, you have self-control. Like, you're not acting out on your emotions. You're just controlling them. You're just having much better control. Like, I'm getting self-mastery energy here from this collective. What else? So the other thing is that the visions or images or downloads that you guys will receive, especially when it comes to your desires and like everything that you need or like who you're about to become, they're wanting you to pay more attention to that, because they're going to start showing you clues and hints of this is what you're close to, or this is what's about to happen, or this is what you can actually receive. But they're wanting you to focus more on manifesting it and being it and just living as though you already have it. The other thing that just came through was that some of you guys not only are going to be redirected, but you could be seeing, because I'm hearing 3 times. I'm hearing 3 times spirit, source, your highest self, God, whatever you guys believe in or whatever you want to call it, or even your intuition. There's like so many names, right? But I'm hearing that 3 times they were showing you a way, a particular way, or like another outcome, something that they know, like as you're stepping into this version of you, they know that, okay, you're going to be able to receive the messages and downloads, because the thing is about you is that you're about to do things more genuine than anybody else. Like, this particular collective, you guys are part of the bunch who's going to come in, whether if you guys are celebrities, writers, entertainers, or philosophers, journalists, whatever the case may be. Doesn't matter what job, even if you're a freaking school teacher, right, or a mechanic, it doesn't matter. But this collective, like this era, I guess, is called the era of you. Like, this is all about your self-love, your progress, your success. Like, not anybody else, not what anybody else got going on. This is about you returning home, you coming back to you figuring out who you are, whether if that's through meditation, through astral projection, or out-of-body experiences, lucid dreaming, if you guys are into that stuff. If not, then it's more so about you guys praying and communing with God or source, the universe, in silence, reading the Bible, or going to church, or having your own personal church within your body, like within your household. There's many ways, whether you guys go to temple or mass, whatever the case may be. It's all about you. That's all that it is. But 3 times they tried to show you or tell you something that you are needing to do, giving you like a suggestion or yet another option as a way out of your current situation or a current lifestyle. And so the first 2 times you guys dismissed it and was confused. And by the 3rd time, they said, okay, we're going to show you this one last time. Maybe it's not the last time, but they're going to show you again. And for the 3rd time, let's see if you listen. Let's see if you dismiss it. Let's see if you catch on. And then I'm also getting that they waited. Like, they kind of handed it to you and was like, here, like, there's a reason why this is kind of coming up. So it started maybe like a month or 2 ago. Like, I'm getting like mid to late October, something had happened. Like, something had kind of like triggered you, or someone could have given you some type of advice, or you could have seen it like on a billboard or a message, a video, something where something kind of clicked and you were like, oh, that's a good idea. But others of you just kind of like dismissed it. Like, some of you guys had dismissed it as nothing. Like, you know, it is what it is. I'm not really interested. Then it comes around, but in a different form the 2nd time. A similar way, but a different form the 2nd time. And then the 3rd time, it's kind of like, okay, well, it's up to you. So that's what I'm hearing. 3 times was the charm, and then it finally got your attention. I'm also picking up San Francisco. I don't know if you guys might live in the Bay Area or you're thinking about going to the Bay Area, but that's what's coming through. Yeah, or maybe you guys could be filming. I don't know if I'm getting like a bunch of entertainers here, but maybe you guys could be filming. I'm also getting San Francisco Giants. I don't know if that's like your team or if that's what you like to watch, or maybe you guys like watching baseball or whatever sport. Right? Are they baseball? Anyways, moving on. So once again, they're wanting you to pay attention to these downloads, to these messages, especially if they come in threes. Nikola Tesla might be important to you guys. Sacred geometry, once again, astral projections is coming through. Like, you guys are starting to come back to yourselves, and the more that you are, the more enhanced, the more spiritual gifts and talents strengthen. So I'm also picking up, because while things may have appeared like short of impossible or even just far away to achieve, right, they're literally just your beliefs. And all I keep getting is to listen to either 1, the Bible, 2, Neville Goddard, 3, Abraham Hicks, Eckhart Tolle, and the other one I was getting Wayne Dyer. And then there's another one. What's her name? Is it Lisa or Luis? Luis. That's the name I'm getting. Luis, last name starts with a H. Hayes? Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's something in there along with Terrence McKenna and Alan Watts. There's something in there for you guys to learn or study or to kickstart your journey all together. Okay? Next, we have a sudden change. Like, basically put, 1, there's going to be opportunities coming your way. And these are going to be from individuals who actually cannot say no to you. So if you were to ask for help, or if you were to ask for something, like just to ask, like just coming out of nowhere with it, it's like, I'm getting that they can't say no anyway. So even if they wanted to, even if they did, I'm getting that they're going to go back on their word and turn it into a yes. That's what I'm hearing. And this is pertaining to basically just the answers that you've been waiting for when it comes to these opportunities like knocking on your door. It's these answers that you have been waiting for, and I'm getting that they cannot say no to you anyway. Those are the exact words. So with this sudden change in your career and finances, it's going to leave people kind of in shocked, because nobody, not even you, Nobody, as much as you have been praying for it or trying to manifest it or expect it in some way, you're not going to see this coming. Nobody is going to see this coming, especially when it comes to you. Because once again, with those energies, whether if you're still around them, even if you're not communicating with them or talking to them or giving them the silent treatment, whatever the case, it's like I'm getting that with these particular individuals, they're not going to understand this new version of you. And it's not even that this is a new version of you. This is you just coming back home to the real you. And so they're not liking that, but they're also going to be surprised because they were judging and criticizing you. And at the same time, they didn't think or expect that you were capable of growing, of learning, of healing. They didn't think that you were capable of getting out of your situation. So a lot of them had mocked you, I'm hearing. They probably had mocked you a lot or talked about you amongst friends or family members or whoever that they talk to or confide in. And these are also individuals that they had talked about as well in some sense. And what you also need to know is that there's going to be yet another tower moment. And this tower moment is not just a tower moment of purging emotions, but this is what's going to catapult you into this new version or into this better life, into this chapter. You're already starting this new chapter, but you're going to experience a little bit of turmoil, a little bit of turbulence. You're going to experience this tower moment because it's meant to carry you almost rapidly to this next version or to this next chapter, to this next life. So everything that you are doing here, it's meant to help you, it's meant to heal you, so that way you can be the version that other people are looking for. So that way you can literally be a catalyst. So that way when they look at you and they see you, not only are they looking up to you, but they want to be in your corner. Because there's people talking, what's coming through is that there's people talking about you, negative and positive. And the ones who are basically talking negative, so to speak, the reason why they're wanting you to know this is because once again, you're learning to control your emotions. Like, you're learning to not react or overreact. Like, you're starting to think before you speak, think before you act or do. And that's what's triggering them. And so this is one of the cases, this is yet another test, so to speak. I don't really like to call it that, but think of it as that if you want to. You don't have to. But this is one of those things where now you got to keep your composure. Now you got to not react or overreact. Don't give them that satisfaction. This goes back to what I was saying before. Ignore them the best way that you can. Yes, it might tick them off. Yes, it might bother them. Yes, it might cause a chain of reactions. But the whole purpose of this is because whether if they explode or not, or however they explode on you, whatever it is that they say or try to do against you, that's what's going to push you right into the arms of a lover or a new partnership or relationship, B, the right friendship, like the people who are actually going to support you, the people who are in alignment with you. C, I'm also getting into a whole new career path, and that kind of ties in, oh God, my nose, that kind of ties into what I was saying before as far as like your career goes, and that thing that spirit was trying to get your attention with, that they mentioned 3 times. You guys might know what it is, but there's something here that kept picking at you, right? Like, it's like a crow just at your window, and you might think, no, I'm not, like, just leave me alone, leave me alone. Then another one comes, and another one comes, and another one comes, and then finally it's like, bro, we've been trying to tell you something. We've been trying to show you something. And so that's what it is. Whatever it is that kept coming at you and coming at you, that's what you're supposed to follow. And so once again, when that energy or individuals, whoever the case, family, friends, coworkers, classmates, whoever the case, when that situation happens, or when something explodes to where they're going to try to blame you, try to manipulate you, try to make it seem like, oh, it was you, when really it was them. They were the one acting and behaving this way, but they're going to try to flip the script and make it seem, no, it wasn't me, it was all you. And it's like, while they might be Delulu, you have sense. You already see through, because you have psychic abilities, because you have a strong intuition, because you just know, you have that gut feeling. You have a whole spirit team right behind you who have always been beside you, that even if you're not as intuitive as you think you are, I mean, you really are, you just probably haven't tapped into it that much or that often, but you still have a spirit team or God or source or universe literally backing you up and showing you who's real, who's not, who to count on, who to watch out for. And that's what this is all about. The other thing is, you have never been alone. They're saying you have never not been, like, there was never a time where you have ever been alone. Even if you felt like you were lonely, they were still there beside you. They were still holding you. They were still, like, they weren't crying with you, but they were holding you as you were crying. Like, they felt it. They came. They consoled you. They try to make you feel comfortable. They try to make you feel better, whatever the case may be. I want to say it's like second to last, or maybe even third to last. But not only do you not need to stress anymore, because you're probably worried and concerned, like, when is this thing coming? When is this thing happening? Like, what do I need to do? Like, I'm not hearing any answers at this time. Like, source isn't talking to me, or I can't hear them, or, you know, when am I going to receive the answer? Relax. They're going to give you the answer right on time. They're not going to give it to you when you're constantly begging and asking for it. Like, no, I need to know now. Like, I need to make a decision now. Like, should I bet this or should I bet that? Relax. Relax. Because when your energy is too erratic, and you should know this already, when your energy is too erratic, too crazy, too out of, like, nope. That's when the waters are most muddied. That's when you can't see anything clearly. Okay? Relax. It's going to come. But I'm also hearing perfectionism is not the answer. So if that is you, where you have to wait for things to be perfect, now is not the time. Because nothing is perfect, but it will happen at its perfect time. Not according to you, not the way you may want it. Like, it doesn't have to be, okay, well, wait until this is done and then I can start, or wait until I have this and then. No. It's going to happen when it happens. They're just wanting you to remain open. That's it. They're wanting you to remain open. It's like, have a vision of what dreams or desires you guys want, and then just let it go and release it. That's it. Just do those two things, and then you're actually good to go. First and foremost, there's this thing that I'm picking up energetically. Now, before you receive, or before you actually move, because some of you guys are going to be moving. I'm hearing January and February. But before this move happens, right? Before you move, like, either out of state or out of country, I'm also getting, before you receive, like, this new job or bonus or career, it's a matter of you, like, letting go energetically of certain things. Like, I'm hearing, but first, wait, like the commercial, but first, there's more. But first, that's so weird. There's one more thing that they're wanting you to do, or to release, or to let go, or work on. There's one more thing, one more task that they're expecting of you. Most of you guys already know what it is. You're probably already in motion, already doing or working on it. For others of you, it's internal. It's your overall energy. It's your overall emotions. It's your limiting beliefs. So if you find yourselves kind of defaulting back to old ways of thinking and viewing while you're still trying to implement, like, new tactics or strategies, they're saying pick one and stick with it, because they're both correct. So in other words, if you feel or believe that you can't make something happen, or you can't win something, then you're correct. Now, on the flip side, if you believe that you can have money without having to work, you're also correct. So whatever your beliefs are, limiting or not, you're still correct. And it's not to say, oh, see, I knew I was right. No. It all depends on what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you believe, because that's what's creating your current circumstances. It all boils down to your choices. That's what it is. It boils down to your choices, as far as what led you to this current reality, what led you to this experience, what led you to your lifestyle. All of it boiled down to the choices that you made. And once you're able to understand that, without trying to, like, put too much blame on yourself, right? Like, it's not a matter of, oh, but he said, she said, but they made me feel this way. Nope. You have a choice to listen to what other people say. You have a choice to react a certain way, or to do things a certain way. Okay? So if you choose to get influenced by other people's emotions or negativity, or whatever the case, that was your choice. Oh, but no, you did. You could have taken your time at that moment to think about what it is you would rather experience. What should I do? Now, most of the collective so far, You're already doing that. But I am picking up a few of you who still can't help but get emotionally tied to things. And the reason why it's hard for you to let go is because a part of you does not want to forgive. And the more that you continue to not wanting to forgive because you think, oh, but it's unforgivable, it was a heinous act, blah, 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 that's understandable. But that's what's going to keep you energetically tied to where you can't proceed or move forward or receive the things that you are asking until that is gone. Oh, but I haven't forgiven them, but I've moved on. It's because you haven't forgiven is why you haven't actually moved on. It's why you haven't actually received the things that you were supposed to receive. And the more that you want to continue to blame other people and how they make you feel, they're not making you feel like anything. You're choosing to feel that way about them. You're choosing to think these thoughts about them. You're choosing to make believe that they're the reason why you're making certain actions and reactions. When all in all, you're choosing that. So continue to do the internal work, right? Focus more on your energy. Focus more on your breath work. Focus more on meditating, because when you're in a meditative state, you're releasing all those thoughts and energies to where now you don't have to think about releasing thoughts. The thoughts will just actually let go and be removed naturally and automatically. They're wanting you to focus, for some of you, to focus on the internal, your energy, your healing, the residual energies and attachments that you have about or to certain individuals, or even to certain ornaments and things like that. I don't know why I'm getting figurines too. But there's something here about importance. Like there's something here that was important, either that was taken from you, because I'm getting some type of loss. You had experienced some type of loss recently, or maybe this was something long ago, but it came with a gift. And now that gift was either lost, stolen, taken away, broken, whatever the case, misplaced, you had an energetic tie to that object that was also what you had tied it to, that individual. And I'm hearing that for a lot of you, while you may have felt that loss, they're wanting you to understand that you haven't lost the image or the energetic attachment that you have with that person, even if they had carried on or passed on and moved on, right? They're saying that it's not entirely a loss. You're losing the physical object where, yes, it has a specific value or meaning to it, and it goes deep. It goes very deep. Whether if this was something that was passed down to them, this was something that they had acquired over time, whatever the case. But it's not that they're wanting you to overvalue. The thing is, they do not want you to overvalue objects, but to understand that because you connected that to that person, you're always going to feel that connection. They're not wanting you to focus on the loss of the object, but rather the connection and what it made you feel like. If that makes sense. I hope I made sense. But when it comes to that person, but yes, there's one more thing that you need to do before you finalize your move. There's one more thing that you need to do before you transition into this new career. Because that's what this is. This literally is a transition into your new life. Once again, this is the era of you. Literally the era of you. Can't get any more specific. It's all about you. So, as you're going through this transition, which you're being helped, you're being guided, you're being supported. But it's the fact that you had the willingness to ask for that, to pray for that. And some of you might even begged for it, and they heard your calls, they heard your prayers. And so they are stepping in to help you, to guide you. So that way you can come back to you and become the leader you were always meant to be. Manifestation is a key part of your success. Manifestation. So whether if you guys believe in it or not, it's time that you do. It's time that you give it a try and continue to put it into practice, no matter how scared you are, no matter how many other doubts you might feel. If you had already worked through those issues and released those feelings and emotions at this point or this stage, by now, you should be a freaking master manifester. That's what they call them, I guess. Lastly, you guys are going to start liberating yourselves and rising and feeling more and more whole and more complete from here on out. And that's where everything in your life starts to improve, because you're focusing on you, aka God, aka your highest self, aka your own intuition, your true self, spirit self, whatever the case. You've been learning lessons, you've been dodging bullets, working on you. And so that's what's going to happen from here on out for the remainder of the year of 2025. That's what's to expect for the month of December. To continue to do the inner work, to focus on your manifestations, to let go of all the individuals and all the crows who keep chirping and crowing and doing all the squawking and whatever the case, right? There's going to be a little bit more of that, but it's not to the point where it's going to reach you. It's not to the point where it's going to affect you. It's not to the point where, like, I'm getting the evil eye, but at the same time, it's like you guys are so protected. Like, you naturally have a team that kind of does all these things for you, that as you're walking into rooms, like, the grounds that you walk on are literally holy because you make it holy. They're so freaking special. Like, liquid gold is pouring down, like so much just intelligence you guys are starting to embody and exude from your highest self, from your truest self. And you literally hold the clue. Like, you have the key. Like, you are the key to success. You are the only one who could liberate yourselves. You are the only one who can be happy. You are the only one who could literally have the best freaking life that you want. And it doesn't matter what any reader or what any person will tell you. Oh, I see you doing this, or I see you only making this amount. The very second that you accept that information as true, go over there. Go, I don't know, go fishing. Go do something, because I can't even look at you. I can't even believe you. If someone were to try to tell you, doesn't matter what reader, if you're listening to a zodiac reading and they say, oh, you guys are going to be making X amount of dollars, or oh, you guys are going to get into this line of work, but this is what you're going to end up receiving. No, you can receive more. Expect more. I told you guys this. The thing is, it doesn't have to be that amount because that's what they said or because that's what they see for you. You know how many times I've heard people say, oh, you're going to end up with this type of person. I didn't believe it. Until this day, I'm still like, where is this person? And you know why that person hasn't come? Is because I chose not to believe it. Not because it wasn't capable of coming into my life, not because I wasn't meant to have that person or whatever the case, but I personally didn't believe it. I said, no, thank you. I've heard people tell me, oh, you know, it's going to take you years in order to reach my level. I got there within months. So that's what I'm saying. People will try to tell you things about you. That's what I'm picking up. People will try to tell you things about you, but understand that when it comes to readings, it's very general. So you have to be the one to be specific, not the readers. It doesn't necessarily make them wrong. It doesn't make them inaccurate. It's just take whatever you want, take whatever message you can, even from this, from any and everything and everyone. Because there are times where, yeah, we still might need help. Like, we're literally our own therapists. But the point is, take whatever message you can and then you run with it. You don't have to absorb all the details, all the information, even if it's not pertaining to you, because that's what's going to confuse you. So if someone were to tell you, oh yeah, like, you know, so-and-so is doing this, meanwhile, you don't even have so-and-so. You don't even have a so-and-so. So it's like, I don't know. Is there somebody, like, you're trying to match that with, you know, your current life. Like, you're trying to force that story or image into you or your story or your life. And it's like, that's not pertaining to you. So that's another thing that's coming through that you guys need to kind of not get into the habit of doing that. I feel like there's so much more, but that's definitely a big one. Do not try to morph or mold stories into what you have going on, especially if it doesn't pertain to you. And if you're trying to figure out whether if it does or doesn't, that's a clear sign that at that moment it doesn't. Until maybe something in your external kind of shows or confirms that, oh snap, that does pertain to me, then okay. But you have to give yourself that space and time to be able to differentiate between someone else's story and your story. because your story is different. And so the whole point is, once again, this is the era of you. So all we care about is you focusing on you creating your story. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to see, because you're part of the collective who's meant to change the world, change everybody's viewpoints, to literally uplift them, to literally, it's like, I don't even want to say starting something new, because it's really not new. It might feel like that, but it's really not new. But you are part of the collective that's meant to uplift, to guide, to support, to heal, to teach, to show. That's this collective. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And then whatever avenue, whether if it's the teaching part, whether if it's the healing part, whether if it's the protecting part, whether if it's the speaking part, don't matter. Like, there's something about you, about this collective, that you were always meant to uplift. And so whether if that's in real estate or in construction, right? Like, there's some aspect, like, it's, the thing is, whatever field, whatever career, you were meant to change the whole dynamic. So in other words, like, let's take a celebrity, for example. Like, let's take a singer. The traditional way that these singers come up is not going to be the same way that you're going to come up. And the things that they sing about, it's tailored to the trends. That's what it is. It's tailored to a certain demographic where, okay, well, this is what's trending, this is what's hot, this is what we're gonna do. And like, you might even find that like everybody's beats are so freaking similar. Everyone's piggybacking off of one another, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's really nothing wrong with that. No one's like stealing ideas per se. Everyone just has the same collective idea because everyone's interconnected. However, to a certain degree, yes, people actually can take someone else's idea and think, hey, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing, but make it my own. That's common. But what I'm getting for you guys is that, one, there's no jealousy, there's no envy. And the things that you might do with other collectives, it's going to be similar. So, of course, don't feel any type of way or think that anybody's going to be stealing your ideas. But yours is a little bit more genuine. That's the thing. You, on the other hand, it's like, let's say you are a singer. Let's say you're wanting to sing, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like gospel or anything like that. But you're meant to change what it means to be a celebrity. You're meant to change that whole like viewpoint, like how people are, how fans are. Like, I hope I'm making sense, because you guys are going to be impacting people in such a different way. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. Like, it's not going to be the same traditional way. It's not going to be the same, oh, let's make this just so we can make money, just so we can go tour. Yours is going to be a little bit more calculated, but tailored to the collective who's meant to heal and guide others. That's how impactful like your music is about to be. That's how impactful your line of work as a cook is about to be. Like, you guys are meant to kind of change the whole game. And that goes back to the previous message when they said perfectionism is not the answer. It's not trying to be better than anybody. It's not trying to show, oh yeah, like we're the better collective compared to other people. No, you were meant to change the game so that way everybody else could follow suit, because this is the way that we're kind of morphing this new world. So it's not going to be something like let's say if it's real estate, for example. Like, traditionally people would buy real estate just so they can monopolize. If you buy real estate, it's actually to kind of help make it affordable for others. So there's a huge difference in that impact. And it's not that you're going to be poor, because that's not a thing. But I mean, if that's the state or reality or mentality you want to choose, then sure, by all means. But that's not in this case, not for you. So you were kind of meant to kind of change the game. And it's all tailored to helping people, so that way people can learn to be more self-sufficient, so they can rely on themselves, so that way they can be able to kind of build. Same thing goes for in the entertainment industry. If you're an actor, writer, producer, director, whatever the case, it's like the way that you're going to be making movies, it's not going to be the same now. It ain't going to be where it's all full of caca, okay? That ain't going to happen, where we're watching nonsense, where there's no storyline, there's no plot, there's no meaning, there's no value. Like you know how you could probably tell if you're watching a film or a TV show and you know these people just aren't really into their character. And I don't want to hear Denzel Washington. Don't want to hear it. I was very disappointed with Gladiator 2. I'm like, y'all know that role was not for him. Like, that, it was just the name. But I'm like, that role, no. But anyways, doesn't matter, to each their own. But it's kind of like you guys were meant to change the game and change the way people are going to be coming up. People can now have access to these things in a better, more uplifting, more self-sufficient kind of way, or independent kind of way, whatever the case. But it's like, that's how you were supposed to do it. So whatever stories you guys tell, whatever stuff you guys do, when you get to that position, whatever it may be, whether if it's owning a business, owning a mechanic shop or something like that, it's like you'll be the type of mechanic who's real enough to kind of show people, so that way even when they do come to you, they know they can come to you for X, Y, and Z. But at the same time, you'll be the one to kind of teach them and show them, so that way they can learn to do it themselves, because you'll understand, one, of course, knowledge is power, and we all contain wisdom. And if people don't know, you're going to be the type of person to school them, to show them and teach them. And it's not to say that at this stage we're not trying to make people reliant on one another, but naturally we're already going to be reliant on one another. Okay, if that makes sense. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there. You guys catch my drift. You guys know what you're supposed to do. So if you haven't started, go ahead and start. I'm also hearing to do, there's like one more thing. Once again, like I said before, there's one more thing that Spirit, God, Source, Universe, your highest self is wanting you guys to do before this shift or transition happens. If you have been concerned about a particular career or which direction to go, the answer lies within you, to follow your heart. And as much as you don't want to do the work, or you don't want to meditate, or you don't want to get quiet and still enough to where you can hear the answer, just that's when you really have to relax. That's when you really have to be at peace. That's when you really need to rest. Go to sleep if you need to. Take a nap if you need to. Go for a walk in nature if you need to. But allow the answer to come to you. Allow them to reveal themselves to you, so that way you know, because you're being redirected once again. So I love you guys, as always, and I will catch you on the next one.